Glad you're joining us, everyone. Well, this is a hard one. New on the 4, an update on that terrible tragedy from last night's storm. 2 Birmingham families grieving the loss of 2 babies now killed when a tree fell on a home.
Chastity Maxey spoke to the mother of one of the babies this afternoon and joins us live now with her story. Chastity, just a heartbreaking tragedy they're experiencing right now.
Very much so, Morgan. You can see behind me where this tree was uprooted and toppled over onto the back of this home. Of course, I did talk to that mother earlier today. She's still in shock, telling me that her baby died in her arms.
We heard a boom like lightning.
Jamari King recounts the moments before a huge tree toppled onto his family friend's home.
And soon that happened, a tree just fell on all of us, and it fell straight through. I couldn't breathe for a minute, but I got out. I still worried about my baby sister.
With a sore back and scratches on his face, Jamari says he was able to lift the debris and free himself before searching for his family. But his mother, Rosemary Allen, and 1-year-old baby sister, Journey Jones, weren't as fortunate.
Like, we were just we couldn't move. Everything was on top of us, and we couldn't move. I was holding my baby. She was in my lap. And it's the stuff that the seal in the tree, it just crushed her on me. And I couldn't get her off of me. I couldn't move anything on top of me.
Sadly, Journey and her 3-month-old friend, Jalayla Ford, died from their injuries.
I was sitting there trying to figure out what I was going to do for her birthday. And I was making plans exactly what I was doing when it hit. And so it's like now instead of me planning a birthday party, I have to plan a funeral.
My name is Rosemary Allen, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. On July 21st, I had gotten off work and picked my kids up, and we were on our way to get haircuts, and my friend called for me to come pick her up from work. We picked her up from work, and we decided it was raining real bad that day. It was a real bad thunderstorm in the area. And so we decided to stay at her house for a little while. And she had also told me that her son could cut my kids' hair. So we decided to sit there and wait for him to arrive to get their haircuts. And so we were just sitting in her bedroom. I was sitting in a rocking chair with my daughter Journey. She was in my lap. And my friend said, look, it was like the lights had flickered off. And so her daughter had decided to go plug her phone up just so her phone wouldn't die if the lights had went off real bad. And it was a window on the side of me. I was sitting next to the wall. And my friend said, look, Rose. And so when I looked, it happened like in a matter of seconds between me looking out the window to the wall of the house was on top of us. And when I looked up, it was just like the room was just in pieces. And Journey was laying on top of me, but she wasn't saying anything. And so when I looked at her, she wasn't breathing. Her eyes were closed. She didn't cry. And I just could tell that she just wasn't breathing. But I also couldn't breathe myself. I had a tree on my leg and the roof was on top of us, crushing us. It took so long to get us from out of the house because the tree was so massive that if they moved a certain way, the house was going to collapse. So once I got to the hospital, I asked the nurses, once, they got us in a room, I asked the nurses, what about my kids? My son, my oldest son, I have a 21-year-old. He came in, and that's when he told me my 11-year-old was in the hospital because he had fell through the floor, which I had no clue about. And he told me that Journey had not made it. Immediately, I was like, no, it's not true that you're telling me that Journey didn't make it. The message that I want people to understand today is to get your trees checked. So in case a storm comes through, it won't fall or nothing. You won't be in a tragedy where where something happens where a tree will fall on your house or limbs will fall or anything would damage your house. I think that it is important if you have trees in your yard to have those trees inspected by tree services. Have them come out and look at them. After this situation has happened to me, I think that it's very important for people to have their trees looked at, especially if you have a lot of them in your yard, because they're dangerous, especially when they fall, because they can fall at any point. I mean, a good wind can blow and knock branches off, and it could be detrimental to your house. I pray to God nobody has to go through what I went through, but I mean, just get your trees looked at.
You got a remote, so you can leave everybody alone. You can leave ours alone. That's your remote. I got mine. I got my own remote. Go that remote. Yeah.